He's the slick talking, jive walking, organic banana eating, decade long vegan. It's the one and only AdamJoyce.com.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. My name is Adam Josh. That's what my mama named me. I have an organic banana here, and I'm just quickly looking at which Morning Banana Show we're on. I know what's important to me is that today is my 10-year vegan anniversary. Today I have been vegan for 10 years. Thank you. I can hear all the animals cheering right now. And they're so thankful that I did not eat them. I also didn't eat some bugs. And I've also saved quite a lot of spiders. One of the things that happens here at the Ruscheck shop is that spiders, while I'm spraying the bottom of a vehicle, any spider that has been hiding will start repelling. So I'm always saving repelling spiders. On the vehicles that come from out of the country, it's almost like music, almost like a musical, or like when you watch a dance, like Cirque du Soleil, they just pew, pew, and I'm like, save them all, because if they touch the ground, they're gonna be stuck there a lot of the times, because the ground will be so oily. So I'll be going like Michael Keaton's Batman in the Batwing, going with my hands, and then I grab them, and then I take them outside like that, and sometimes they keep going down, so I'm like, no, invisible string. Sometimes they go up. But anyway, today is the Morning Banana Show. It is number 157. 157 bananas that we have shared together. And I thought, I have a customer, my Ruscheck season is kind of picking up. I've dropped in 2 waves of mailing. So it's gonna pick up, and I thought, you know what, even though I have a customer coming, I'm still gonna sit down and have a coffee and a banana, one way or the other, whether people are watching or not. It's my morning thing. So yeah, I thought I'm gonna record it, and my customers will just have to understand. Sorry, sir, you've walked in the middle of a show. You're gonna be on the show now. You know this is a place of work, right? So, in celebration of being 1 year vegan, I am going to print out the dream that I had that made me go vegan overnight. And this is something I do. This is something I do every year. Something I do every year. A lot of ads on this little printout. Like a fax machine. Okay. Something I do every year. Just all ads. Something I do every year is I revisit the dream that made me go vegan, and I think about we'll use that later. And I think about the effect it had on me and the power of a dream. So back when X was Twitter, and Twitter wasn't allowing more than 140 characters, there was something called TwitLonger. Just like it sounds, TwitLonger, and you could write out whole threads or whatever as long as you wanted on TwitLonger and post it to Twitter. So I woke up after having that dream, a changed man, and then about a day later, in the evening, last night, I start the little write up here saying last night. So we've always debated the exact moment that I went vegan, but it's hard because you have to figure out when the dream happened. Most likely it was the wee hours of the morning, August 15th, somewhere in the middle of the night. I had a very peculiar dream last night. This is dated August 15th, 2013. So today, 10 years ago, August 15th, 2023. I had a very peculiar dream last night. I dreamt that I was looking at a dead man in something like a bathtub, and as I was wondering who he was and what he was doing in my dream, someone who worked for me or with me started playing with his arms, with his hands, taking his skin off and being disrespectful. As I looked, the bathtub that he was in turned into a deep fryer, and now there were baskets of fries and other things frying beside and in between this man's limbs. I watched as food was served to people that had been deep fried in the very oil this man was laying in. After a while, I couldn't see the man anymore. The oil had become black. I inserted a fry scoop into the oil to feel around for the body, but what was left was so charred and black it was falling apart. And I stood in my dream, absolutely disgusted to think that anyone would serve, let alone eat, anything that was cooked in the same oil that a dead man was deep frying in. I woke up feeling very sick. I didn't eat anything solid until 6 p.m. As I ponder the dream now, almost a day later, I realize it may have been more symbolic to me personally because I am a vegetarian. Sometimes I eat fish, but I'm not a Puritan vegetarian. I will sometimes eat food that has been cooked beside animal products. There are certain animals I have put my foot down to, though, like pig. Pork is just gross smelling once you stop eating it. I have to admit that up until this dream, I've never felt any conviction about eating vegetables cooked beside chicken or beef products or in the same oil. But the lesson of the dream remains clear to me now. If you wouldn't eat a French fry that was fried in the same oil as a dead human, why will you think nothing of eating the same fry out of oil cooked beside another species, not even your own? Because we're racist. Because we are speciesist. We think murdering the animals and consuming their decaying flesh is okay because we're higher on the food chain. I've never been a zealot vegetarian, but this dream I had last night honestly turned my stomach. Pun intended. So, some of the dreams that I have, like I had dreams last night that were kind of forgettable, and some dreams that I wouldn't want to repeat. But some dreams stick with you. And over the years, I used to wake up and write my dreams down on the website, adamjosh.com. And you can still see some of those there. I've had very detailed dreams that don't really make a lot of sense to the conscious waking mind. I had dreams where I woke up and fact-checked them with people, and my dreams turned out to be accurate. Like I was watching other people in the middle of the night. Woke up, called them, hey, were you doing such and such at such and such time last night? And the guy's like, yeah, how the heck could you know that? So I'm not an expert on what the subconscious world is or what the energy that we exist in is all about, but I do know that we're connected, and I do know that the human body is not the limitations of your higher self. All that to say, I personally have to balance that with mental health challenges and the mental health issues that my family has. My biological family, my mom and dad specifically, have like clinical mental health issues. So I didn't just go vegan because I wanted to save animals, to be honest. I went vegetarian mainly for health concerns and longevity concerns. I was thinking more along the lines of clearly my parents have mental health issues, and I want to not only outlive my parents, but be mentally of sound mind and clear thinking as long as I can possibly be. And they started deteriorating, I would say, in their late 50s. So for me, that'll be another 10 years. And I feel like I feel like I'm with it. I'm honest with people, and I'm honest with my Twitter followers or my ex followers, and I'm honest with you guys that my personal well-being and mental health is very, very high up on my priority list, along with my physical body health. To me, it's the whole thing. Like, it's all very important to me, because if you don't have your health, if you don't have a sound mind and clear thinking, honestly, nothing else matters. Nothing else will matter. Because it's the same situation almost if you're dead. If you're dead, nothing else really matters because you're dead. So you being alive and of sound mind and clear thinking and in a healthy body is, or should be, your number one priority, because everything else flows from that. So, it turns out the hippies were right, and you have to love yourself and truly love yourself first to actually show any real significant meaningful love to anyone else. So I don't want to sacrifice myself and burn myself to keep everybody else warm. Although sometimes it may seem like that. This is a weird, nuanced psychology of people who are in the service industry. People get caregiver fatigue. Service technicians get caregiver fatigue in a different way. You can spend your entire life working for some other person, and it's not enough. It's ironic, right? So at some point, you have to realize that you are a divine sovereign being, and not only do you deserve that respect, but so do these animals. And it's hard to say that as a 41-year-old man to other men who might be watching me, like, you gotta connect with the animals, man. It sounds so weird, right? The only way I can describe it, as somebody who has not been a vegan, like, I've drank, smoked cigarettes, all the things that you guys do, I've done. So I understand where, I grew up with roughneck guys, and I understand where the bridge is hard to cross. All I can say is the way that you feel about your dog, the way that you feel about your cat, ask yourself, why do you feel like that about your cat and your dog, and not about pigs, not about chickens? And so try to imagine the way a vegan feels. Imagine the way a vegan feels about dogs and cats, and then just apply that to every other animal in the animal kingdom. That's kind of how we feel. I don't want to kill a dog and eat it. I don't want to kill a cat and eat it. I also don't want to kill a pig and eat it. I also don't want to kill a chicken and eat it. And all for the same reasons, that I feel like these animals deserve autonomy, respect, and dignity. Definitely they don't deserve what we do to them. You and I know in 2023 what cows and chickens are going through on industrial scale agriculture farming. I mean, these chicken farmers will literally cry because they're being taken advantage of, overlooking the fact that they are systematically exploiting the animals and murdering them and profiting off their death. What we do to animals is unforgivable. And I'm saying that as a guy who's been adopted into a family who runs restaurants that serve dead animals. So I understand the psychological nuances, and I understand the weird things that go on, and I understand the massive conflict. And with all that being said, the change has to start with you. So you can get mired down in conflict and nuance, but if you see the change that needs to be made, it's got to start with you. And that is the leap, the bridge that I crossed over in 2013, all these 10 years ago now. And it wasn't because Adam Josh is so great and Adam Josh is the best human being ever. It was because in my own way, I was being a vegetarian, and I thought that was good enough. But overnight, I had this dream that you just read, or that I just read to you, And that was what pushed me over the... I went as close as I could with my own capabilities, and that dream pushed me across the bridge. And basically it was like a light switch or overnight. Like my stomach literally turned overnight. I couldn't even think about eating. And then when I was finally able to eat, it was like I went to the grocery store and everything was turning my stomach when I looked at it. Everything. And everything but fruits and veggies. So overnight I became a vegan. And I had a visceral reaction to the concept and just the mere idea of eating animals. So with all that being said, fam, go vegan. You know, now is the best time. If not 10 years ago, right now. Thank you for hanging out with me. What else can we talk about? Obviously my customer is not really early yet. It's 8:40 in the morning. The guy has a 9 o'clock appointment. Maybe he'll come early, maybe he won't. Who's to say? Are you to say? Am I to say? Am I going to call him and tell him to come early? Nope. He's not late yet. So, yeah, I went and visited my mom last night, speaking about mental health issues. She's ALC status, still waiting in the mental health section of a hospital, waiting to go to long-term care. A lot of abbreviations. She's MH. She's in MH, ALC status, going to LTC. FYI. It's tough. It's so bad I don't even want to tell people what's going on. That's how bad it is. Desiree was like, if you have to cry, you can cry. And I said, I will. I'm not hiding my emotions. I'll cry. The way I am, I'll cry about it a month from now. 2 months from now. What else can I tell you? Yeah. I think that's about it. We covered the important points about veganism. I could talk about a lot of things. I could talk about current events or my take on news stories, but why bother? So follow me on X at adamjosh.com. If you feel like supporting me, you can send me an e-transfer to adam@adamjosh.com. You can send me a tip to the top of my X profile. I'm never going to get used to saying it. There's a Patreon link there. I'm on PayPal as well. If you feel like sending me a donation there. I think there's some links on my website to PayPal. There is a tip link on my website, I think on the bottom of all the pages, if you feel like supporting me. You can also buy my upcoming book or pre-order my upcoming book. And I'm not gonna tell. I almost told the title of the book. I almost just spilled it right there. Almost. You caught me. Caught me slipping. It's gonna be cool. The book is gonna be cool. It's gonna be life-changing. And if you're an investor or into like bettering your financial future, then it's the book for you. I've read a lot of books about investment theory and strategy, and I have never read anything quite like what I'm putting together, which was why I started writing it. Think about all the crazy things I've been through in my life, and the motivation to write a book never bubbled up inside of me until now. And the thing that I wanted to write about was investment strategy. Even for me, I feel like that's weird, but the motivation came for it, and the bubbling up inside of me was like, we're doing it. This is what we're gonna do. I don't want to write about playing in bands. I don't want to write about music. I don't want to write about, my going vegan or whatever. There's so many things I could write about. Adopting 2 kids, But I wrote about investment strategy. Who knew? Not me. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Think about going vegan. Consider the animals. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.